Hey, listen, since we've got time here, let's break it down here's something that I got to say about the Leafs. We were talking off camera, right? So, Rupper, you being a part of a Stanley Cup winner, Game 7 hero, New Jersey Devils, you know the depth pieces. We talk about this all the time. The Leafs this year have more jam. They brought in more veterans that can help these young players along. It's going a long way. Another thing that I want to say, they've improved defensively. They've improved in the face-off circle. And also something that people aren't talking about is you hear them talk about skill development practices. You know what? They realize that their team is loaded on skill, but you don't only want top-end skill. You want guys in your bottom six to have some skill as well. You want them to make plays. And in a game like this, I like the fact that their practices now are facilitating some of that skill development right now. Yeah. And we're seeing that. They're scoring goals at a torrid pace, but it's not just Austin Matthews and Marner and Nylander. We're starting to see it up and down the lineup.
We talked for a very long time about how this team was they needed some more of a diversified lineup as far as having different ways. You have to find different ways to win hockey games. They just simply couldn't do that. It was either the Maple Leafs way or it was a loss in the prior years. And it's when you change the roster and bring some pieces in and add some grit, add some veteran leadership, that's all good. But you got to empower those guys in order to be in a position to make a difference. And Sheldon Keefe and company have done that. We know this right from the get-go. You're talking about the hottest power play in the National Hockey League at the beginning of the year, where it was John Tavares was not on the first unit. Willie Nylander was not on the first unit. Know who was? Jumbo, Wayne Simmons. These guys, empower them. But let them know they have equity in this. They've got a voice. They've been around for a long time. Well, you know what? Let's let them feel good about that. Now the guys on that team who are newbies, who haven't been in the league long, they can look to about 10 different guys on this team to look up to. I love what Sheldon Keefe has done because he's empowered everybody throughout this lineup to be a difference maker, and that's the difference for this team.
Yeah, I talked to Sheldon Keefe. Those are great points. I talked to Sheldon Keefe prior to the season, and he talked about focusing on those very things and also empowering those veterans, because we're in a stage now where our league is so young and everybody wants to turn the reins over to the young players, and we understand that. But when you have compass players, future Hall of Famer like Jumbo Joe Thornton, you have a veteran player like Wayne Simmons that's had an excellent career, and you add them, Bogosian coming off of a Stanley Cup win. You have Jason Spezza, who scored, over 900 points in his career as an elite offensive producer, and you're not salting them, as I like to say. You're not salting them and marginalizing them and saying, you're a healthy scratch. We don't really know if we need you. Because imagine how that discredits them and who they are and what they've done in the game. And to your point, Rupper, for these young players to go on Hockey DB, Jumbo has that many points, and he can still contribute. Wayne Simmer was an All-Star Game MVP, and he can still play. To me, it adds different dimensions. I like your point. Diversify. And as Seltz would say, easy, Rupper. But I understand what you mean. Yes, some more dimensions to the group.
They're different, but you can't just add pieces and be different. You can't just add toughness by adding a player and expect your team to look different, to be different. You've got to put them in those positions. I love what's going on in Toronto right now.
All right, top team in the North, top team in the entire NHL right now.
Time now for Stat of the Night. Live insights from SAP. NHL Coaching Insights app. So the most power play goals versus the Oilers this season. You see the Leafs there with a bounty of 7. Then you've got the Jets, the Flames, the Habs, and the Senators with a couple apiece. I mean, power plays are so important. We know that all the time here. But Lots, what have you seen? What is it specifically that Toronto's able to do against Edmonton's PK?
They got a lot of different angles of attack when I watch their team. They can come at you from either side. I mean, no Austin Matthews, and then all of a sudden they just continue right on, don't miss a beat. Mitch Marner is the guy that really makes things go. Morgan Riley is more offensive, and he probably gets credit for, to be honest with you. And, the combination of some of the veteran leaders that they have, they're outstanding. Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza.
Yeah, Lots, as you say, the list goes on, and you just plug guys in. John Tavares isn't always even on that top unit sometimes. He's sometimes on that second unit. So another big thing for their power play, though, is Manny Malhotra. Came over from Vancouver, and he's running their power play now. And a lot of people have said, well, it's kind of weird. Malhotra wasn't on a lot of power plays, but, he's done a lot of penalty kills. And he knows exactly how people kill, where the open holes are, where the seams are. So I think he has a lot of credit to do with how good they're doing.
It's a great call. Manny, underrated player. Always enjoyed watching.
You like the way teams kill in today's game? Has it changed much from when you retired?
From when I retired 2 years ago, no. I think teams are killing with a lot more speed now. You know, there's some, it's different. There's some aggressives and there's some passive. I like an aggressive penalty kill, you know, but not too aggressive, especially against a team like this that can pick you apart. I think it's based on who you're playing against. But yeah, it's always changing. It's always evolving. It's a copycat league, as you know.
Right.
One PK works and everybody picks it up.
Yeah, 7 for 15. Those are gaudy numbers right now. So Edmonton's penalty kill has to improve. Coming up next.